Hello, I'm Amira and welcome to my channel. If you like this video, please subscribe and leave a like behind, a thumbs up as YouTubers say. And if you have any thoughts on what I'm saying or like any opposing thoughts, similar thoughts, anything, just comment down below. I would really appreciate it. Yeah, because that's something that YouTubers say, so let's move on, I guess. So for the non-spoilery folk who are just watching this video for getting to know what the book is about, first of all, we're discussing Lore by Alexandra Bracken. This is her new book. I believe it came out just this year in January, I think. I'm not sure. But yeah, it's pretty popular. I've seen it around BookTube quite a lot. So I thought I would do my own video on it because I do have some thoughts. Some good, some not so good. But let's get into it. Wait, sorry, we're not done with the non-spoilery section. I'll give you just a brief about what this is about. So this is about a girl named Lore whose history unpacks as we move through the story, and she's basically one of the descendants of like the great mythical Greek heroes like Perseus and Cadmos and Achilles, etc. So she's the daughter of Perseus, like a descendant, and what this is basically about is that every 7 years they have this thing called the Agon, I don't know how to pronounce it, and which is basically something that Zeus kept to punish his children because they betrayed him like a long time ago. And this Agon basically it makes the gods mortal for like 7 days, for a week every 7 years, and the hunters, who are basically the descendants of the great mythical heroes, are allowed to kill them and take their immortality and their powers for themselves. So for example, if I kill Athena, then I'm Athena now. Cool? You get it. I think I would give this book like a 3.5 out of 5 stars. I mean, I didn't love it, I didn't hate it. I think I liked it, but I didn't really like it. It was a more neutral book. It didn't leave an impact. I mean, though there were some scenes where I wanted to cry and my throat closed up, there were also scenes which I felt I was dragging through and I wanted it to get over. So yeah, that's the book for me. That's it for the non-spoilery section. Let's move into the spoilery bit. Cool. Okay, so for the spoilery bit. Hi, how are you? Okay, sorry, I'm being weird. So, Lore is the last daughter of Perseus. I mean, like, she's the last of the house, except Tidebringer, who also dies. So it's all cool. And anyway, I'll tell you what I found interesting and I didn't find interesting, and what I liked and I didn't like about the book. Okay, let's do it that way. I won't give you a summary because obviously you've read it, so like, what's the point of doing that? But anyway, so what I found interesting was, first of all, I found Athena really interesting. She was super cool. I mean, she was quite how I expected her to be, but it was like cool seeing how she was manipulative, but like also she had like a little bit of compassion, like just a little bit, like it barely showed itself. And the thing is, even when she was showing compassion, you couldn't be sure whether she was manipulating you or not. So yeah, it was interesting seeing Athena. Athena was cool. I liked Castor. Sometimes I thought he was being annoying when he like kept telling Lore who she is, who she's not, but I guess that's what he's supposed to do. I liked the scenes with Castor, especially when Lore like was discussing her bond with him, like even like when they were younger. And like one thing I really like in books is the childhood best friends to lovers trope. That's something I love. That's why I love Julian and Emma from Cassandra Clare's The Dark Artifices. But anyway, when Lore was describing like her bond with him and like how we used to see some flashbacks when they were fighting, I really enjoyed those scenes. I really loved like those glimpses of how they used to be in their bond and how this kind of history, you know. Van, I really liked Van. Van was the most interesting character. Like, I think Van was like probably the most like developed and like layered character out of every like character we saw in this. Miles was cool, Lore was cool. I liked Lore. I liked that she had this flaw of like getting angry, like way too angry, and like, you know, basically like erupting and stuff. Like, not erupting, but like I liked that she was not like a Mary Sue, which is what I'm trying to say. But one thing I did not like about like her eruptions or like how she gets angry is that even when they like describe that, you know, she's like breaking down now, and like, you know, she's after so much like tension in the air, I mean, you expect that to happen to a character, but like what happens in this is that she doesn't actually break down, she just fights more. Like, her release is basically fighting more and more action, and the scene just continues on and on. When you expect, like, what I like is when a character just like gives up and like, you know, cries and bawls their eyes out when like things are too much for them. Like, action on action on action is something that I don't appreciate, because it just seems like there's no like consequence for what's happening. It's just like moving on and on and on, even though people do die. Yeah, it sure happens, Artemis. But like, I don't know, I just don't like when your reaction to a lot of action is more action. Like, I want a break from that. I want the character to deal with their emotions rather than just like fighting more or like planning more or discovering more heists or whatever. That is something for me personally. I don't know if you're like that. If you are somebody who likes action all the time, then I guess this book is for you, because that is how it is. Except the scenes with Castor, which have history, that's why I like them. But when we found out that Gil was Hermes, I expected Lore to like break down or cry or like just like, you know, give up and like shout or something. But like she actually just like went and like fought with Belen, which I didn't like, because we found out this really groundbreaking thing, and we were all really shocked as readers. So we need some time to recover from that rather than just jumping into another action scene. So yeah, that was my main problem with this book, that there was just action on action on action without some time to just like emotionally, you know, get a break from all that. What else did I like? Another thing I liked is her parents. Yeah, the way they were described. Okay, that's one thing I really liked. The way they described like a few flashbacks, like they described a flashback, then they moved on like to the present. The way that like was strung, I really liked that. I think it created a good sense of mystery, even though we knew how it would end. But like the way they described her sisters and how like they were tortured by Athena, that was horrifying. I loved it because I don't know, I'm weird, I'm strange, but like that was something I really liked. Even though I will admit, sometimes when the flashback reverted to her fighting reverted to like her other, like between really big scenes, when it suddenly like flashed back, it got a little annoying, because like you had these really long flashback chapters and then you had this really big intense fight going on, and I didn't care about the flashback at that point. But like in the long term, after finishing the book, I will say that the flashbacks did add a lot to the story, and I think they were well placed. So I'm gonna let that go, even though it annoyed me at the moment, but just gonna let that go. Okay, another thing I really liked was obviously all the Greek mythology mentions. I mean, like, it took me some time to get used to the words Kleos and Hitaria, stuff like that. But like, once I got used to them, it was fine. It was a bit confusing in the start because like they kept mentioning these big Greek words and I had no idea what they meant. I had to like and even for the houses, I had to keep running back to like the beginning to see which one is a minotaur, which one is the, like, you know, the snake. So, but I got used to it like after like halfway through, I guess. In terms of whether I liked the first half more or the last half, I definitely think I liked the first half more. I think the last half was like way too action packed, as I said. I think the first half we delved more into Lore's character and like her personality, rather than her just being manipulated by Athena, which, even though it was fun, I think it was a bit too much. And yeah, I think I liked the first half more, to be honest. No sense. Okay, all in all, to end this, let me just say that the book was nice. I liked it. It wasn't amazing. I definitely had some problems with it, but like I think that those problems are more of a personal issue than something that everybody will face. If you're like me, definitely you will like face these problems. But if you're somebody who likes action like all the time, then you know this is the way for you. Go read Lore. It's really nice. It has a lot of Greek mythology mentions, which is interesting. So yeah, if you like that, if you're into stuff like this, go read it. Bye.